This season for me, it's a new place, a new boat with new department heads.
The best thing to do is feed them alcohol.
I've never hit anything in my career, ever.
Bring me a naked man and bring him to me now.
Challenge accepted.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. It's the Below Deck Mediterranean edition. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-captain. It's the one and only Teresa.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Ahoy! Ahoy. Once again.
We do too many shows.
Once again. Too many shows.
You can't even blame yourself, Teresa.
Too many shows.
How do we keep this straight?
Ahoy.
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 How is everyone doing?
How's everyone doing?
I
am overwhelmed.
I hope you guys are doing better than Teresa, and I hope you guys are doing better than Kyle.
That's true.
Kyle. We watch so many shows. These weeks are so long.
Mm-hmm.
I completely forgot how last episode ended.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a startling way to start this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Kyle writhing in pain.
Falling, Kyle.
Falling. And not in love like some of these other people on this boat. Just falling in pain.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite the way to start the episode. But it brought me right back. And I said, oh, yeah. Here we are.
Here we are.
Now I know what's going on. And speaking of here we are. Here we are.
Here we are.
There's a here we are. We are feeling fine. All of our limbs are intact.
Knock it.
Knock it. We don't need to take any chances. We made it through Halloween.
We did. I hope you guys enjoyed our special because, surprise, surprise, we were in costume.
I mean, a lot of people listen to this podcast that are not on the Patreon. I don't know why you guys aren't on the Patreon.
Yeah,
but
what the heck?
if you're not, well, spoiler alert, we were in costume for our Halloween Spooktacular. It is getting rave reviews through it. People loved what you wore. Not many people are commenting on my costume, but
I love that people are getting it.
a lot of people are getting the
Because
joke. Don't give too much away.
I'm not, but what I'm going to say is that my parents asked, your parents, and so we showed and everyone's like, what the fuck is that?
What are you guys doing?
Your mom was too sweet. She's like, well, it's the digital frame worth it.
Did you explain? You said, we're
That's an inside joke. I didn't go deep.
But she responded, and I never responded back, but she said, how will they know what you're wearing? It's an audio podcast. I don't know if you...
I told you, reply to your mom. And you were like, you reply to your mom.
You started the conversation.
She texted us. I love chatting with your mom.
But you send the photo, you get her all hot and bothered over this costume, and then she's like, holy moly, how do your listeners know what you're wearing?
Now I feel bad.
And then you didn't respond.
Forget about it.
You got her so excited. You teed her up. And then you just let her sit there wondering, how will anyone ever witness this costume greatness?
Guess how even more excited your mom's going to be when I reply to her today. Like, she had to wait the whole day to find out.
Anticipation.
Yes.
Which is kind of what we're doing to you guys who are not on the Patreon. We're not telling you exactly what the costume is. You guys are like my mom.
Yeah.
We always say you guys are like friends. You guys are like family. You are. We treat my mom the same way. So.
We love your mom. I'm sorry, John's mom.
We do love
Well,
Mom.
I'll get back to you right after this pod.
But yes, we did the Halloween Spooktacular. And so let's jump around a little bit. Let's get it out of order here on the housekeeping and just say, if you want to check out the Spooktacular and so much more, get on the Patreon because it wasn't a one-time thing. It wasn't a live. It's a video. It's an audio. It's all sorts of podcasting and extras that are living on the Patreon for Halloween and for eternity. It will be up there. So whether you join today, tomorrow, the next day, you can go see it.
Mm-hmm.
Patreon.com/married to reality. Again, we cover the single life over there. And we throw bonuses at our family affair level.
Absolutely.
So get over there. Check it out. It's a good time. We're having a blast over there. Never a bad time to sign up with subscription billing. So check it out. Patreon.com/married to reality. Also, check out the Instagram.
Yes.
At Married to Reality Pod on Instagram. We need to post over there. We haven't posted a lot over there.
I know, but we're chatting. I cannot stop chatting with you guys. We're chatting on Instagram, chatting on the Patreon. Yes, we have not been posting any memes, but
What's going on with us?
well, honestly, I'll tell you, it's gonna sound maybe a little shitty, right?
Oh boy.
But we have a lot going on, right?
Sure.
And guys, we are on the Patreon. We do all these extras.
Yeah, that's a good point.
For you guys, and so it's not that we're slacking on Instagram, but it's like
We're going hard on the Patreon.
we're going hard on the Patreon and on all the other podcasts and the chatting and
That's a
the
good point.
updates. So
What would you rather?
making memes kind of on the back burner.
Would you rather have us making a meme that some of you like, some of you don't? Or would you rather us getting in costume and filming an hour-long video of us doing who knows what? Okay? I think you would appreciate the latter. So that's why the memes they're taking a toll. But I'm coming back. I'm ready to fire up the old meme machine.
Go back.
Firing up the meme machine. They're going to be on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. So follow us over there. Also, just make sure you're following the podcast wherever you're listening. It's so easy to do. You look down, you smash the follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as the weather because finally we left the dog.
Oh boy, this is clearly
We
Teresa.
left the dog.
Clearly
I
Teresa.
was struggling this episode, so bear with me.
Boy, I can't
Bear with me.
Can't wait to hear your boat names if that's what you have for smash it like it's hot.
Well, the weather. Why? It's hot. It's finally good. What are you talking about?
Oh boy, they're okay.
If you were,
All right.
if you were on home, you would be like, yes, finally, it's hot.
I'm not going to critique you. I found out what happened last time I critiqued one of your segments.
But don't critique my segments or your segments are just gonna, explode. But I'm not saying the weather is the temperature. I'm
No, I
saying
know,
the
you're saying-
sun, it's finally calming down.
Better
That's
late
what's
than
hot.
never. Better late than never.
So
you're saying.
it's not just a basic
Oh,
statement.
I get it.
So you roll with it, John.
I'm trying.
Just
I'm-
roll with
I'm
it.
rolling. All right. And last but not least, please leave us a review. Don't review Teresa Smash It Like It's Hot, at least not this week's. But just review the podcast in general. Overall, please let us know you guys liking it, loving it, not. We're all ears. 5-star reviews get read on the main podcast.
Dropping on Mondays.
That's the Monday Night Podcast. That's the 90 Day Fiance Podcast. So please, if you leave a review, 5 stars, we read it on the main podcast. And it's fun. We love you guys, make us feel so good. And we think it's a nice way to return the favor. Bunch of you guys, when we read the reviews, write us, oh my God, you read my review. Thank you so much. And so it's the least we could do.
Yeah.
It's honestly the least we could do is share the love.
And we love it. We love it. We love receiving the love. And we love sharing the love.
Yes, we
Sharing
are
and
we're not
receiving.
selfish lovers. We give, we take. It's fun, right? Okay, it's fun. That kind of just died. I didn't want to get too dirty,
Guys,
so
don't
pumped the brakes.
Don't comment on this.
I pumped the brakes.
Little
All right.
thing that John just did
All right,
because
Teresa, that's the housekeeping. That's the housekeeping. Without further ado, let's do my favorite segment.
my favorite segment.
We do a lot of segments on this show, but this is my absolute favorite. We get to do it once a week where we watch the episode and we go home. Come on. Please, please.
Ugh.
What? This is hardly a home. This is a boat. I don't know why you would name it home. It's a vacation home, if anything. But what? You couldn't afford the letters to write vacation home, so you just wrote home. It's a terrible name. I can't stand it, Teresa. I'm fired up, and that's
He's
why
very fired up.
that's why we came up with this segment called Boat Name
Name
This
the
segment,
segment.
where we rename the boat. We do it every week, and it's time to do it right now.
All right.
Ladies first.
Okay, I'll go first.
Oh boy.
This week's been tough.
If
This
it's
week's
anything,
been tough.
if it's anything like Smash Like It's as hot as the weather, that sucked for this charter.
No,
Until the very end, until the last 3 hours.
Exactly, and you know what?
What,
My
Teresa?
smash it was really good actually. If you think about it, it was very good.
Teresa, your first boat name, please.
Admit.
It was fine.
Okay. My first boat name is something fishy.
Oh boy. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I'm oh-boying it because my first name is also official.
So let me explain it a little more.
Please.
It's about a fish, right?
Understood.
A little fish. They don't love the fish, but they ended up loving the fish. It's something
I saw the
fishy.
episode, Teresa. I get it.
But also, the guests always have some issues that they keep forgetting they have mics on. So something's fishy. Like this coffee is like something fishy. Like, what is this? Something fishy.
Okay. All right.
You see?
All right.
You see,
Sure,
I
sure.
went deep. I went deep. It's
I-
way past the fish.
I was
way past the fish.
overly harsh on your smash it, so I will leave your boat name alone. My first boat name, Teresa,
Okay.
also playing with the fish here because yes, they were not big fish fans. They were not big fans of the old fish until they tried it and they were loving it, praising it, some would say. So my first boat name, Fishing for Compliments.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Fishing for compliments, Teresa.
That's a little better than something fishy.
But A for effort. Okay, that's my first boat
I
name.
like it. All right.
Number 2, Teresa.
Number 2. All right. My number 2 is like, this episode was a lot of like, what the hell moments, right? WTF moments.
You never used to explain your boat name. You used to have so much confidence in your boat name.
I feel like this episode I have to.
Okay.
So my second boat name is What a Pipe. Instead of
All right.
Instead of what the fuck, what a pipe, because
Got it.
there was a pipe.
Got it.
There was a pipe that almost ruined it all. So, what a pipe.
All right, guys. I'm here to save the day. Don't you worry. I got a couple good boat names up my sleeve. Okay. Where do I go next? How do I top that? Teresa, how do I top
I thought
that?
this was my best one.
Okay. Well, you should have saved it. I'm glad you didn't, though. Here we go. My second boat name. And if you think this is great, you can imagine how good my last one's
All
going to be.
right.
My second boat name, Teresa, we all saw Kyle. He fell down the stairs, sprained that ankle.
Oh my god, I'm nervous you have the same name, but go.
Judging by your others, you're not gonna get this one. Here we go. My second boat name, Twist and Shout.
Oh, yeah, I don't.
Come on, baby, let's do the twist. That might be a different song, actually. But Twist and Shout is my second boat name.
All
'Cause
right.
He twisted it, he shouted. It's a boat name.
Is it a song?
Twist and Shout? I think so.
Well, speaking of songs,
Oh, boy.
my last boat name
Like-
is also a song. Are you ready?
Oh, okay, sure.
And I'm free
Free falling. That's
free falling.
great. Teresa, that is
Free
fantastic.
falling. And that's my last boat name. And you actually gave me the idea about like 5 minutes ago. And I'm glad you did because it replaced.
Oh, boy.
It replaced.
Couldn't wait. What was y'all want the pipe?
It replaced Kyle in a blanket.
That's the best name. Like pigs in a blanket. Here's why the name is so genius. You could have gone piggies in a blanket because his toes, his piggies.
Oh,
Oh,
I
man.
didn't go that deep. But
Kyle in the blanket. Love it. All right.
Ah,
That may have been the best name of the episode had I not had this one
Really?
ready to go.
Damn.
Had I not had this one ready to go. Kyle, he works in hospitality.
mm-hmm.
Okay, he's a stew. He ended up in the hospital this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Hence my third and final boat name, Hospitality.
Oh,
Hospitality.
I
think is how you would
like
say
it.
it. There's a hospitality.
Oh, I would not get on that boat, but I like it.
I would not get on that boat either, but thank you.
Oh,
All right.
Kyle in the blanket and
Kyle in the blanket's pretty good.
hospitality.
Hospitality. Pretty good. That's the
good.
segment we call Boat Name this segment. Unfortunately, it has come to an end. I feel like we could do this all day, but
Yes.
all good things must come to an end.
True.
All right, let's talk about the episode. Let's start with hospitality. Let's start with Kyle going down, free falling.
Free
If
falling.
you twist and shout.
Free falling, got in a blanket, and went to hospitality.
This poor guy can't catch a break. He can't catch his fall either. He can't catch himself. He's sprained, twisted, torn a ligament, stretched a ligament. But just episodes ago, he had a tooth issue.
Yeah.
Constant pain for this man.
He's not the healthiest person.
It's not even health. Maybe the tooth is health.
Yeah.
This is just clumsiness. This is bad
Yeah.
luck, right?
It is a bad luck, but maybe it's a sign that it's time to go to Frank. Wait, Frank, what happened to Frank?
What happened to Frank?
When he met Frank, he wanted to get off something fishy right away.
Yeah.
And now he's
Now he's hanging around fishing for compliments.
Yeah. What the pipe?
Nice. But yeah, he hurts himself and he needs to go to the hospital. Captain Sandy to the rescue. She's an all-star on every episode. This episode, no different.
And this is the first time we see her in her PJs.
It was so cute. I love. It's
Yeah,
like, could
very
you love?
loungy, very loungy.
Could you love Sandy anymore? She comes out in her PJs, and I'm like, I just fell in love with her even more.
Oh, you take it easy over
I mean,
there.
not that. I don't.
It's our wedding anniversary
That's very
tomorrow,
true.
so you take it easy.
Not that way, but she comes to the rescue and she tells Kyle, hey, you need to go to the hospital. You got to get this thing x-rayed. We got to see what's going on with you.
Yeah, if you can step on it, you got to go.
I've told you I broke my foot before.
Yeah. I told you I sprained. No, I
Sorry,
slightly broke my foot.
This story's about me. The story's about
Well,
me.
I'm also sharing, but you share first.
Let me shine.
You shine.
I broke my foot, how long ago? 10 years ago? More? Maybe?
I don't know.
Probably 2010, so maybe 12 years ago. And I broke it over the weekend. And
Okay.
I was going to work. Maybe I broke it Friday. And I was going, what?
Look at his memory, guys.
Well, I lived the weekend with a broken foot is my point. Broken on Friday, lived the weekend
I know the story. Keep going.
with a broken foot. And went to work on Monday and told people what happened. And my boss was very concerned. And she said, you need to go to the hospital. You need to get an x-ray. I said, absolutely not.
Okay, I don't know this.
It doesn't hurt that bad. It doesn't hurt. I can walk. It's fine. I'm a tough guy. And she kept pressing me. I think over multiple days, she pressed me. And I went to get an x-ray. It was broken.
Oh, boy.
So if my Captain Sandy, Captain Sue, if Captain Sue didn't tell me to go get an x-ray, I don't know if I would have. And I would have been walking around on a broken foot for who knows how long. So
Maybe
shout
you would still.
out to bosses who make you go do the things you don't want to do sometimes.
That's awesome. My time to shine. I was
Shine.
playing badminton with my dad.
Okay.
Jumped, landed, half broke my foot.
Yikes. In a
It
cast?
in cast
On
for
crutches?
4 weeks. Mhm.
Ooh, I was 3 months for me.
Well, that's why mine was mine was a month and a half because it wasn't fully broken. It was chipped. But I was 12. It was a summer break. It was the beginning of the summer.
Summer
That
break, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Hello.
That was the worst thing about this whole thing. That I was playing badminton. You know what that is?
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah. So playing badminton, we were on vacation, and that happened.
All right.
So
We all have our own stories. So, all right. Kyle goes to the hospital. So they're a man down. They're a stew down. Sandy stayed up all night. Right? She stepped in, and she's just such a great leader. How when she sees, oh, my team needs help.
yeah.
She's not telling someone else, well, just work harder, stay up. This happens. Don't go to sleep. She's like, I'll stay up. I'll step in.
Also, there is nothing for her to do the next day because the weather sucks still.
True, but she's still got to run.
Well, absolutely, because she is the best. And Kyle comes back at 4 a.m. on crutches, but it's not broken.
It was torn. Here's what I'm torn about. Did he go to the hospital alone?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone went with him.
No.
What's that about? And I'm not going to shit on Sandy. She stayed at the ship and held it down. But Storm was standing there when he came back. And I said, oh, did Storm go with him? Because that would have been a nice thing to do. And then he comes out of the van and tells Storm the verdict. So I'm like, oh, Storm didn't go with him.
I'm pretty sure someone from production went with him because someone had to help him. He couldn't walk.
I guess. The van was empty. It
Yeah.
pulls up. He's the only one sitting in it. And he gets out and shares the
Yeah,
news.
but I feel like someone helped him. Or maybe the cab dropped him off and they came with the little, when you sit down on the wheels. What do you call
Wheelchair.
it? Wheelchair.
Uh-huh. Maybe. I hope he had some
But yeah,
help.
but he's out. And I was like, how is he going to do this? Is he going to get a tip for the work? I mean, he did a little bit of the work.
He did half.
Yeah, but here is the sad verdict. He cannot step on it for 7 days. So it's not broken. Woohoo.
That's good.
But he is going to be out for 7 days, which is not good.
It's not good. And he is the type of guy who doesn't want to just sit back and heal.
Ooh, okay. That's what he said.
That's what he says. Well, I'm torn on it because he goes, I worked so hard to get here. People will stereotype me and say, oh, I'm in pain. I'm emotional. I'm not going to be able to work. So I I do think he wants to put his best foot forward, pun intended, and work the rest of the charter, but doctor's orders, he can't.
Okay, if he wanted to work the rest of the charter, why isn't he helping with the laundry? Why Natasha had to go there like 3 times and the 3rd time saying, Kyle, like, we really need your help. First 2 times, he's like, yeah, I can. Like, I'm in pain. It's like, all right, I get it, but dude, it's your foot. Like, it's your foot. You can sit down and fold laundry. Like, I get it. It might be painful. Pop some pills and fold the laundry.
Yeah, there were certain things he could do. And again, the minute this injury happens, you're probably in shock, you're in pain. But sure, by the next day, maybe you can lend a hand.
Marcos from the previous charter, he literally cracked his head open and while he was dripping blood, he was cooking dinner.
Now, I hear what you're saying. It's a little bit of a different story.
It's not. You know why? Because imagine that headache that Marcos had.
But it's
With
not.
that headache, all you want to do is to lay down and do nothing.
But it's not just about the pain. It's about the inability to be mobile. It's hard to walk on a boat when you have 2 good feet. He can't put pressure on it. He can't put weight on it. So now he can't walk around. So he's a little more stationary. That's the difference, I think.
It is, but again, he could be folding the laundry.
Sure. But sometimes you become more of a hassle than a help. It's like, you know what? I can do this faster myself. So I don't know. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he did want to stick it out and he did want to work. But I hear what you're saying.
Yes. So, all right.
Second day of charter.
Yeah, second day of charter. It's the morning and the ocean is still rough. So we are not leaving the dock.
Which puts added pressure on the crew to show them a good time because they couldn't leave the dock yesterday. Now they can't leave the dock today. What are we going to do? How are we going to make this a great experience?
Well, Sandy suggests that you can go up into that corner in the bay and play with the toys, some of the toys.
Which is what they wanted to do. They wanted to get out in the water. And to be honest, let's be honest. They eventually do get out in the middle of the sea or wherever they went. Was it that different than where they...
Yeah, it was. There was no pipe.
But you know what I'm saying? It's one thing if you're sailing through the night and you're on your way to a destination. If you're just driving out somewhere to then turn around and drive back.
Well, they would be sailing throughout the night. That's how the charters work.
I guess
right?
that's true.
So.
Okay. But they did what they can. They were able to have some fun in the water. But before they go out there, the weather's not the only thing that's having an issue.
Well, Sandy, because she's so awesome.
Sneaky Sandy.
She sensed that something was wrong during last night's dinner between Natasha and Dave. So she goes and talks to them. And you could tell that she was serious and she was pissed because she's like, can I talk to you guys? Natasha, come over here. Dave, stop chopping. Stop chopping. Listen. And she basically said, we have 2 more charters. Whatever's going on between you two, you have to be professional because if I can feel it, the guests can feel it.
Yes, she was serious. She was stern. But what I loved about her was still the tone she used. Her voice was still very calm and rational. She wasn't freaking out. I'm not going to do my Sandy voice. Everyone calm down.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm not going to do my Sandy. But I love the way she could deliver this news or this critique.
Yeah, she's a good boss.
She wasn't arms in the air, mad. The guests weren't happy. How could you do this? Keep your personal life out of it. She was very calm. And so here's what we need to do, guys. We got to get through this. You guys got to be professionals.
Yeah, she's a good boss.
She's the best.
She is awesome.
She's the best. Okay. I think the guests are about to wake up, but before they do, we should take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have a breakfast. Sandy's invited. Everyone's invited. We'll be back in a second. And we're back.
Ahoy, Jonathan.
Ahoy, Teresa.
All right, you ready to eat some breakfast with Sandy?
If you wanted to or had to, let's just say if you had to invite your captain to a meal, what meal are you inviting them to? Because we've seen Captain Glenn hit up a couple dinners.
And so did Sandy.
Sandy hit up a dinner?
Yeah.
Okay. Now she's getting invited to breakfast. Which meal are you inviting your captain to?
Probably dinner. So we can drink and get some stories out of them.
I like where your head's at. My question is, would these captains drink while on the boat? Because they're technically on the clock. So if they can't drink, then I'm going to say come to breakfast. Because I don't want to be drinking around the captain if they're not drinking. And
You're drinking during your breakfast.
And you know, well, moderately. But you know I'm getting loose at dinner. I don't need the captain to see me getting that loose.
Moderately. Have you watched this season?
There's a me. I'm speaking about me. This is a me question.
If you are on a yacht like this and everything is paid for, you're gonna be chugging those mimosas.
All right, speak for yourself. I would start slow.
Okay.
I spent a lot of money on this boat, Teresa.
Okay.
I don't want to be passed out by 1 p.m. and miss the dolphins swimming by. We've seen that happen.
All right.
I would go, if the captain can drink, they're coming to dinner. If they can't, let's do breakfast.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
You with me?
I would probably do a brunch, but sure.
Yeah, but brunch now we're starting to drink again. Now I would do some heavy drinking at brunch, perhaps. So it's
Okay.
it's a debacle we'll never find ourselves in, unfortunately.
All right. But yeah, Sandy joins and all they want to know is that can we go into the water?
I kind of feel like that's why they invited her. They're trying to butter her up.
Oh, yeah.
To be like, all right, well, you're one of us. Now you're sitting down, we're having breakfast. What do you think we take this thing out in the water?
She actually is not one of them because all of them sit on one side.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's no one sitting around Captain Sandy.
Touche.
Yeah, so it's almost like they ganged up on her.
Yeah. Food comes out, though. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Guests love it. Sandy calls Dave the best chef she's ever had.
I mean, he seems to be prepping good meals.
Yeah, which is definitely part of the reason Sandy puts up with the bullshit between Dave and Natasha. If he was a shitty chef, then she would find any excuse to say, all right, we'll see you later. But he's great, so he stays. Then while they're all eating, Z, Storm, and Reed are setting up everything for the guests to enjoy. The water, the toys, the tender.
Yes. So they get on the tender with Courtney, Reed, and Z.
Yes.
Storm stays behind. No Storm on the tender. And they go all the way to the cliff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, but there wasn't even sunny around there. Like, I don't like swimming close to a cliff.
Okay.
I find it scary. I think sharks hang out there.
They said no sharks.
Yeah, sure. Sure. But I feel like big fish and octopuses, they hang out near
All the
the cliff.
octopuses are definitely there. But to me, it looked nice. And you don't have to swim. They brought out the other water toys that you could be sort of above the water, I think. But it's the best. It's the best.
It is the best. It's the best solution for the situation.
Would you rather sit on the boat for another day?
Probably, but sure.
I thought they made the best of a bad situation. It got even worse when they tried to leave, though.
What a pipe.
What a pipe.
What a pipe.
WTP.
And that maybe that's why, because I was like, oh my gosh, like it's next to the cliff. The cliff is casting a shade on the water, so it's very dark. And there is this ugly ass pipe.
Yeah, what's the pipe doing in there?
Imagine if that guy who did the backflip landed on the pipe.
So, another personal story. I used to go cliff jumping. Like all through high school, I would go cliff jumping. We'd go to this, I think it was like a reservoir or a river, and we'd cliff jump. There was these 40-foot cliffs, 60-foot cliffs. Great time. But then we graduated to bridge jumping, which is jumping off the bridge into the river or reservoir, whatever it is. And when we started to do that, people would come up to us and go, you know what, you should stop because, and here's where I go, I don't know if this is a real story or not. They said people were jumping off the bridge and one of them landed on a sign, the post of a sign that was sticking up that was holding the like 5 miles an hour, no wake. And it impaled them. And I don't know if that's a real story or not, but it stuck with me, no pun intended.
I think it could be.
Yeah. So, that
because you jump, you know, like I've done bridge jumping still. It wasn't too hot, but it was into this really dirty river filled with fish. And you just had to do it. But people were saying you literally don't know what's at the bottom.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people drown there. Like people drown there every year. And sometimes they don't find them. They're like, you're going to land on a body.
Where is this?
In my hometown.
Oh, okay. In Czech.
Yeah.
Got it.
So then I eventually stopped doing that because I was too scared.
Smart.
Yeah.
All right, so they get stuck on this pipe, which is very questionable. Why is there this pipe stuck in there?
I was just gonna add, you know the river, right, that goes through my town. We walked over the bridge. It's a big river. Remember I was showing you my town and we walked over the bridge and I was saying my grandma used to teach at this school. My dad teaches over there, right?
Yep.
So that river, there is this like a little waterfall, like a couple miles down. And people usually do, not a waterfall, like a dam, right? And people, a lot of like young kids go and jump there every summer. I'm telling you, every summer there are kids dying because they're morons.
They should stop allowing that.
It's not allowed.
Well,
That's
patrol it better.
Yeah, I guess.
If people are dying there every year, patrol it.
And then when I was in school, so around the river, there are a bunch of schools. So there are 2 high schools, one on each side. And there was a guy, they went dam jumping. He jumped and he drowned, right? Couldn't find him for a few days. And then kids from the school, it was the economy high school, were hanging out outside eating snacks during the break.
Yeah, probably
they were they were like, what the fuck is in the water? It was the guy. The dead body got stuck right next to the school and just floating there, all big and purple.
Yeah, bloated.
Yeah, my friend saw it.
This got morbid. Let's move on.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. Let's talk about
The pipe.
Yeah, let's talk about Natasha and Dave, because while the guests were off, they were having a little chat. They were trying to reconcile a little bit. It's this classic thing Dave keeps saying, where he's like, I don't even recognize myself anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're stupid and in love, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you're in your 30s. Just give up.
Get over it.
Yeah.
Natasha's like, yeah, I feel the same. They agree. We got to be professional. We got to work. Let's get these charters done.
I mean, 2 more. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
Right?
1.5 more, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Natalia's doing housekeeping, and I wouldn't even bring this up because it wasn't that eventful, but what was that on the bed sheets?
I think they were like wiping makeup or
Is that what it was?
I think so.
Just people get drunk,
or
pass
pooped?
out,
I
don't
don't
take
know.
their makeup off, and that's...
Oh, there was no TP.
Remember that one charter from a season or 2 ago? The woman sat on the sofa with her...
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it was that like self-tanner.
Yeah.
But it was
That was like a lot
embarrassing.
of charters ago. A lot of them.
Many a charter ago.
Yeah, it was like charter 1 or 2.
More like a charter, if you know what I'm saying.
I almost feel like it was on the previous season.
I think it was. Absolutely was. Were you going to say something? I feel like I cut you off when I brought up the sheets.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So the guests head back. They get off the pipe. They head back. Sandy, again, stepping in like a stew.
Sandy's the bomb.
She was, I forget who went up to her and was like, oh, Sandy, I got this. She's like, no. I got this. I'll help.
She is the bomb, right?
It's such an inspiration as a leader to see you getting down and doing what the lowest member on your team does, even though you're the highest member on your team. It's just like, this is great. This is leadership.
Yeah, no, she's great. So the guests come back. Natasha welcomes them with drinks. And Natalia's like, why cocktails? Like, we're a man down. Just give them boost. Give them some drinks.
Well, I think it was Natasha wanted to do 2 options.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like a welcome drink, a welcome cocktail.
Yeah.
It's like, stop overcomplicating
Yeah.
this.
So they welcome them back on the ship. And Natasha and Dave, they both know that they fucked up the night before. So tonight has to be perfection because it's Lila's 21st birthday.
Yes.
They cannot fuck up again. They cannot.
This is your last chance.
Last chance to shine. So they're prepping for the dinner.
This was where I saw Kyle kind of step in and he blew up the
After
balloons.
Natasha
Blew up the
went
balloons.
and was like, Kyle, we need your help. I'm sorry, but we need your help.
But let me be honest about the situation. And I guess if he stays behind the scenes, it's okay. But when you see someone in his condition and he's in pain, he's limping around, you paid $60,000 or however much you paid. You don't want to see that because it brings you down. I'm trying to have a good time here. And here's this poor guy in so much pain.
I didn't say he should be around the guests, but he
No, he should,
be folding laundry. He should,
He's going to get
whatever he
swept up
can do.
into a conga line if he's awake and walking around.
I don't know what you just said, so.
The conga line that the guests got into after dinner, and they tried to get Natalia in it even though she was mopping the floor.
The what?
Conga line. Conga.
Congo? Like the country
Conga
in
line.
Africa?
I don't know the derivation of the dance, but have you never been to a bar mitzvah?
No.
Huh? Well, I'll bring you to one. You've never been to a bar mitzvah?
Who?
Your cousins?
They don't have bar mitzvahs.
Huh.
They would have to go to Hebrew school and they gave up on it after a couple of months.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
Also, you know that if I went to their bar mitzvahs, you would go to their bar mitzvahs because we've been together for a long time.
All right.
And you met them when they were like 7.
It's a fair point.
So.
It's a fair point. All right. Well, you've never been. Well, maybe one day. Our nieces, maybe.
Do you think they'll have a bar mitzvah?
Bat mitzvah, most likely.
Bach mitzvah?
Excuse you? It's not a Bach. That's an old musician.
It is.
Yeah.
Sebastian Bach.
Oh, there you go. Let's talk about this dinner because this is where fishing for compliments comes into play.
Something fishy too.
Lila, the birthday girl, doesn't like fish. Apparently, she didn't make this known to anyone, though. It never made it to a preference sheet.
Yes, and she's like, oh, like, I don't like fish at all. Like, oh, like, is this all gonna be fish?
And I feel her as a 21-year-old that when I was 21. I'm not the biggest fish eater now. So for her, I'm like, I get it. This is your birthday dinner. I would never order fish when I was 21 for my birthday dinner.
Yeah, but if you're a fancy 21-year-old.
I guess. But here's the best part. The fish comes out. The crowd goes wild.
Well, okay. When they learned about the fish, not so much. When they brought the fish, everyone was like, okay. They tried the fish, and Mom was like, it's not that bad. And then,
Yeah, the first
and
fish.
then when the second fish came, and I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
what is this? The fish on a fish on top of a fish? So the second fish was a big hit.
Lila literally said, thank you for giving me the fish because I'm kind of obsessed with fish now. Like, to me, I was like, wow, look at just maturing in front of our own eyes. This 21-year-old just becoming an adult. Just thank you for having me try something I wouldn't normally otherwise try because I love it.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. And so Dave was relieved. Everyone's like kind of, okay, this is going well. And he brings up the cool looking cake.
Once like the main meal ended and it was time for the dessert, it was kind of like a party. It was very reminiscent of when you go to TGI Fridays for your birthday and the whole line of waitresses comes out.
Okay, I have never been inside of TGI's Fridays.
I don't know why that sounds so sexual. It's TGI Fridays, not TJ's Fridays. And I hope you wouldn't be inside of him.
I know there is one near our house.
You've been to a Chili's.
Only at the airport. Only at the airport.
Have you been to a Ruby Tuesday?
No.
They're all the same. TGI Fridays is fun. I used to go when I was a young
So
buck.
what's happening there?
They all dress up and they wear the flair on their uniforms and they come out in lines and sing happy, happy birthday.
What kind of a food they serve?
Bar food, American bar and grill type burgers,
Okay.
chicken tenders, quesadillas,
Is it like
chicken.
a sit-down place or like a McDonald's?
No, it's a sit down. They have a bar.
Really?
It's fun for a chain.
Isn't it next to the liquor store we go to?
No.
No.
There's no TGI Fridays within miles of us.
Okay.
I don't think.
Well, I've never been.
Okay. I'm trying to think what's next to the liquor.
It's like a chicory thingy.
That's Five Guys.
Oh, okay.
That's also good, but that's very different. Anyways, the party really starts when dinner ends. I mean, they were Don Julio 1942 just being poured into their
like
mouths.
It was like a party.
Pour that into my
21. Partying, drinking. The cake was a big hit. It looked really nice.
I didn't really see the cake. It was
like a marbly red and blue.
Huh, interesting.
Sandy loved it. How did you miss it?
Huh. I don't know. I was looking at that bottle of 1942 just being guzzled. Then Grace, one of the guests, asked Storm, hey, now that it's midnight, let's really turn this thing up. Can we go frat party? Can we go full frat on this boat? And Storm's like, I think we can do that.
I don't even know what it means.
A frat party. You've
Yeah.
never been to a bar mitzvah, TGI Fridays, or a frat party. They all have a lot of things in common.
Well, I went to a college in the city.
Yep.
And I was like 3-4 years older than most kids, so I didn't get invited anyway. I was eating you too, so
Yeah. No, you didn't miss much because, I mean, you missed much you missed a lot if you had gone to like where Reed went to school. But if you go to school in New York or Boston, frat parties aren't really a thing.
Yeah, plus I didn't live on the campus. I lived in an apartment.
Yeah.
With you, actually. Half of my college studies.
But Storm's like, we can do it. We can go wild. Reed sets up a stripper pole, basically, right?
Yeah. And we learned that Reed, he seems like such a good boy, but apparently he was drunk 69 days in a row.
And I can't tell my parents why I chose 69. Who would have thought? Such a partier.
He chose 69 because it's something he'll never do.
I don't know. I learned a lot about him. I see him in a different way now. He goes, I once sold $1,000 worth of my, this is the most privileged statement to ever come out of anyone's mouth. I once sold $1,000 worth of my stocks to pay for my bar tab.
Yeah. What?
I once sold like a few pair of socks maybe to pay for my bar tab would be more relatable. But yeah. This was, who knew he was such an animal?
Well, we're learning because we don't have a lot of time with him.
No, he's filling us in pretty fast. So the guests, they're there, they're going ham. The stripper pole's a hit. The guests, they're getting lit. And this is where they start doing that conga line through the boat. You know, you hold on to each other's shoulders. That's the conga line.
We call it the snake.
Ah, yeah, the snake. Same thing. And then they're like forcing Natalia into the line.
Yeah, well, Natalia's bleeding. I'm like, she looks
oh, now
so
you know what I'm
miserable.
talking about. Now that we call it the snake, now you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the snake.
Why didn't you just say the snake?
Exactly.
Got
you
it.
call it something fancy, trying to be fancy over here. Just call it what it is.
Just call it what it is. That's what I
Yeah.
do. So Natalia wasn't really having it. I mean, she worked 20 hours straight. Everyone's overworked because Kyle is out of commission. And this is when Natasha realizes we need to replace him. I don't want to do it. I feel bad doing it, but we got to get some help around here.
Yes. And so she tells Sandy, but this is in the morning. So everyone parties up, goes to bed, and then we see Natalia and everyone waking up at 6 a.m.
3 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Oof,
And
that's almost worse. Just almost stay up and power through.
no.
3 hours of sleep is...
It's better than powering through. I'm telling you, would like...
There's a window of sleep that's worse than no sleep. I would say 2.5 to 4 hours is worse than no sleep. 1 hour is like, okay, it's a power nap. 5 hours is great. You get 2.5 hours of sleep, I think you're screwed.
I've done it. You'll be tired, but it's better than no sleep. I've done no sleep a few times in my life, and it was because there was a thing in Czech. Every Czech person's like, you can drink yourself to sober. So we were drinking all night, trying to keep drinking and sober up at the same time. Obviously,
that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. You just keep getting drunker and drunker and more tired, and then it's fucking 7 a.m. You're still drinking, eating chips because you have to eat something, trying to keep yourself up, keep drinking, and then you get to the point that you just get so fucking tired that then you sleep for the day.
Got it. So. Yeah, I mean, you always have to pay the price.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, they got 3 hours of sleep. They're up. They're at it. The good news is the weather is a bit better, so they can get off the dock.
Woohoo!
The bad news is, Natasha has to tell Sandy, I think we got to swap out Kyle.
And okay, is there one charter left or two?
I think there's one. I think because my last notes said 2 charters left. And I think that was this one.
Well, honestly, if it was one charter left, I think Courtney could have helped.
I don't think so. They're struggling right here. And
Well, yeah,
all
but I
hands on
feel
deck.
like for one charter, they wouldn't need a new person.
Come on. Think about the resentment that would build. You're working your ass off. You're working overtime, basically. Why? So that Kyle can just lay in his bed and do nothing?
I think there are 2 more charters. No.
I think there's one more.
No. One more.
You can't just have a guy sit there and do nothing. You can't. Think about it. It's not just a boat among friends. There's guests paying $100,000. They need the top talent in there. They need the best experience they can get. And so they're not just going to waste a bunk on someone who can't provide service.
I mean, you're right. We'll see. We'll see.
So, okay, they leave port. They're going to give the guest a few hours off the dock. I actually thought, I was like, oh, is this an extra long charter? Or they go?
I thought they did one more day because they got stuck.
It's like, no, they're just going for 3 hours.
Well, it makes sense because they have another charter coming soon.
Right.
And I think they extended this because normally the guests leave in the morning.
Now they live for like
Yeah.
1 or, yeah. Here's what I'll say about these guests. They were very sweet. I thought they were going to be way bigger pains in the ass. When they boarded the boat and they were like, oh, why is this room so small? We work on yachts. I was like, oh, they're going to be assholes. They were very sweet.
They were sweet. They made comments,
Here and there.
but they were sweet. I thought they're going to leave like no tip or like, not no tip, but be like, like next time you should do better. So we leave you some space for improvement, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, let's get to it. So while they're out playing in the water, Sandy texts Norma, the yacht staffing
agent,
and says, need a new stew. Norma says, got just the girl.
So remember, Reed flew in from Alabama. Is she flying from somewhere or did she
There's no
just end the
time.
charter or?
No, I think Sandy said, I need it and I need it fast.
Yeah.
So Norma's got just the girl. Natasha goes and breaks the news to Kyle. He clearly doesn't want to be replaced. He's not thrilled about it.
But honestly, if this is the last charter, come on, Kyle. Like if this happened on charter 1 or 2.
You want to see it to the very end.
Yes, you do, but you can also stay at a hotel for 3 days.
And meet up with everyone.
And meet up with everyone
honestly
after.
What I feel like he was most sad about was leaving Natasha. It got so emotional. I love you so much. You're the other half of me. I can't go on without you. It seemed, yes, it's more about this friendship, this bond than the work. But okay, the guests depart. They were thankful. They were grateful. Tip meeting time.
And Sandy was like, okay, this is a thin envelope. And I was thinking, oh shit, here we come. No money, or they're using big bills.
I imagine how big did they get? 100?
Maybe, but you can use like a 500. No,
I don't think so. We're gonna show our ignorance here, or just how poor we are.
Well, I should probably know it because I've used euros, obviously. So
right. I'm thinking USDs.
I doubt they must pay them in euros. I think they're telling us how much USD because it airs in America.
But you're right. When they're tipping over there,
are euros. Of course, I know there's no $500 bill unless we are that poor.
There
is 500.
There was a $10,000 bill at one point.
Oh wow!
President Lincoln's Secretary of Treasury. Interesting.
You talking US dollars?
Yes. I don't think they would put Lincoln's.
Give us the bill.
Largest dollar in euro. I know it's not called the dollar, but
no, largest euro. Gee.
Largest euro. Biggest euro. 500.
Oh, look at me.
100.
So I am from Europe, guys.
Hello.
I am from Europe, bitches.
Hello. No one doubted that. So okay, let's cut to the chase. Sandy says. Sucked being stuck on the dock, but you guys worked hard. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes.
Kyle, your fall, not good, but thank God that's all that happened to you.
Free falling,
twist and shout. And Sandy goes, look, we got a new stew coming, and it's not that Kyle's getting fired. It's just we don't have extra room for him, so it is what it is. And here's the tip. $18,000.
Not bad.
$1,600 a person.
It's not the most, but it's not bad for being on the dock for 2 days. Pretty good. And serving fish all the time. Pretty good.
Oh, that's the tip. Kyle packs up, says his goodbyes.
And they didn't even let him change.
Maybe he wanted to wear it. I felt like it was harder for Natasha to say goodbye than it was for Kyle. I feel like now she's alone. She has no allies.
Yeah.
No one has her back. So we'll see how that turns out. I like the idea of just like one last charter. Let's throw in some rogue stew and see what happens.
Well, we saw the preview of the stew. She comes in heels.
Oh, I missed that. I got to start watching previews.
Yeah, like you never do.
I start to set
You
up.
like stood up and you were showing me your new dance moves.
I was fired up.
Yeah.
I was fired up. All right. That's the episode. Another good episode. Hope you guys enjoyed
Solid.
Hope you guys enjoyed the pod. Teresa's rating it solid.
Yes. I hope you enjoyed my boat names and
you
my
enjoyed this.
smash it.
Hope you enjoyed it all top to bottom. Thank you guys for listening. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/married to reality. Check out the holidays, the Halloween spooktacular.
Halloween and the holiday spectacular
That is to come.
is to come.
That is to come. Patreon.com/married to reality. Follow us on Instagram at married to reality pod. Teresa, follow the podcast. It's so easy to do. You look down, you smash the follow button.
Guys, you smash it like it's as hot as hopefully the new stew and the drama she'll bring for 2 episodes.
Hopefully. And thank you guys for the reviews. We love the love. We love to spread the love. So 5-star reviews, they get read on the main podcast. That's how we do it.
Woohoo!
All right. That is it. I've said it all.
I've said it all.
You've said it all. That means we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.